is the first day in the year 2022. Our focus will be on the 2021 in retrospect and the prospects for the year 2022. Welcome to the first edition of Panorama for the year, coming to you from NTA Sokoto Network Center. I am Sadia Umargi, wishing you a new year. Stay with us. The 17.127 trillion naira budget of economic growth and sustainability for the year 2022 fiscal year has been formally signed into law. Also assented to is the 2021 financial bill, which is critical to the successful implementation of the budgetary provisions. President Muhammadu Buhari, who signed the document, promised to improve the general living condition of Nigerians as well as implement measures to moderate the unintended negative effects of his administration's policy on them. State House correspondent Adam Sambu reports.
Flanked by presiding officers of the National Assembly and some key members of the Federal Cabinet, President Muhammadu Buhari signs the 2022 budget of 17.127 trillion naira into law, describing it as crucial in his administration's efforts at completing and putting to use critical agenda projects as well as improving the living conditions of Nigerians.
We must continue to sustain this partnership in the interest of our people, in order to ensure the effective implementation of the budget and realization of its laudable objectives.
The budget has an increase of 735.85 billion naira over the initial executive proposal, although the president has admitted to have authorized 186.53 billion naira of the amount for additional critical expenditure. He, however, expressed reservations about many of the changes made in form of new insertions, outright removals, reductions or increase in the amounts allocated to projects.
Provisions made for as many as 10,733 projects were reduced, while 6,576 new projects were introduced into the budget by the National Assembly. The cuts in the provisions for several of these projects by the National Assembly may render the projects unimplementable or set back their completion.
President Buhari also expressed worry that 12.6 billion naira has been reduced in the budget for rail modernization projects, 25.8 billion naira from power sector reform program, and 14.5 billion naira from various agriculture projects.
I will revert to the National Assembly with a request for amendment and or amendment as soon as the Assembly resumes, to ensure that critical ongoing projects that are cardinal to this administration and those nearing completion do not suffer a setback due to reduced funding.
Being the last full-year budget to be implemented by the Buhari presidency, its effective execution is very critical to delivering the ongoing legacy projects, promoting social inclusion and strengthening the resilience of the economy. The president therefore directed the Ministry of Finance to implement all measures required to ensure timely and targeted release of capital votes, while MDAs are to, amongst others, ensure productive use of the funds provided for the realization of the objectives set for their sectors.
Revenue generation agencies, and indeed all MDAs, must ensure prompt and full remittance of collected revenues. All borrowings will be judiciously utilized and invested in our future growth and prosperity.
The driving force is cooperation, partnership, synergy, and that understanding and mutual respect. And of course, Nigeria is benefiting from that kind of relationship.
The Senate President also reacted to the reservations expressed by President Muhammadu Buhari over the changes made to the executive budget proposals.
Mr. President is happy with the majority of what the National Assembly has done, and that's the most critical thing that we need to focus on. As for the observations Mr. President has raised, I'm happy that the president signed the budget in the first place, and he said he's coming back to the National Assembly to seek for amendments or amendments, and this is natural, logical legislative process.
So what next, sir, after the signing of this budget, sir?
Of this budget for the House of Reps? Oh, we're on vacation now. When we come back on the 18th, you'll know what's next.
This is the third consecutive year Nigeria's national budget will be implemented within the January to December cycle. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has made a strong case for Nigerians to bury their differences, stand together against all odds, and work assiduously with patriotic zeal towards keeping the nation united, strong, and prosperous. In his New Year message to the nation, the president said the security and socio-economic challenges notwithstanding, 2022 will be welcomed with high hopes and optimism as the future of Nigeria can still be written in gold. State House correspondent Adam Sambu has details.
In a personally signed statement, President Muhammadu Buhari salutes the courage and resilience of all Nigerians in their determination to overcome severe challenges along the path to building the nation of their dream. The persistent insecurity in parts of the country may have threatened to unravel the incremental gains achieved in the real sector of the economy, but the president says his administration will not relent in forging ahead towards positioning the nation on the irreversible trajectory of sustainable growth and progress. The federal government, he emphasizes, remains fully committed to upholding the constitutional provisions that protect all Nigerians from any form of internal and external aggression. On the economy, President Buhari believes that Nigeria has shown a high level of resilience, and the major wins recorded can be clearly seen in the recent GDP figures, showing a 4.03% growth in the third quarter of 2021. This closely followed by a 5.1% year-on-year growth in real terms was one of the best recorded by any nation across the sub-Saharan Africa. Describing the signing of the Petroleum Industry Act as a watershed moment in the nation's history, the president says the landmark legislation is expected to serve as a liberalization force in the energy industry. The objective of the government, he explains, is to increase liquefied natural gas exports and expand the nation's domestic market. And in the year 2022 and going forward, President Buhari is promising that his administration would intentionally leverage ICT platforms to create jobs while ensuring that the diversification of the economy creates more support to other emerging sectors. He takes pride in the fact that several foreign investors are taking advantage of Nigeria's ranking as one of the leading startup ecosystems in Africa to invest in the country's digital economy. Meanwhile, despite the challenges in 2021, the president says his administration executed successfully key projects, programs, and initiatives to fulfill promises made under the security, economy, and anti-corruption agenda. And as Nigerians welcome 2022 and celebrate life in this new epoch, the president asks them to do so with high hopes and confidence that the future of Nigeria is bright and indeed promising. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, felicitates with Nigerians as we enter 2022 and urge them to continue to keep faith in Nigeria. In his New Year message, the Senate President stressed that the National Assembly will continue to pursue common desire of a just, peaceful, and prosperous country, having appropriated more funds for operational capabilities of security agents as government is resolutely addressing insecurity. Similarly, the Speaker, House of Representatives, Femi Bajabiamila, in a statement urges the citizens to renew their hope in Nigeria and show more commitment to their fatherland for the country to move to the next level of growth and development. Meanwhile, the All Progressive Congress, its leadership, supporters, and teaming members join all Nigerians to celebrate the commencement of the year 2022 New Year, assuring that all is now set for the conduct of a rancor-free national convention. A statement by the Secretary, APC Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, John James Banudehe, says the Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee is poised and ready to meet up with the task ahead in 2022. In the same vein, the People's Democratic Party rejoices with Nigerians on the dawning of the new year 2022, urging them to use the occasion to rekindle the virtues of love, unity, and social justice in the country, as well as put aside all forms of divisiveness, fear, and narrow-mindedness, and pursue a new beginning. And from the Christian community, the Christian Association of Nigeria CAN urges Nigerians to continually pray for God's mercy over Nigeria. In his New Year message, the president of the association, Reverend Samson Supo, called on church leaders to use the opportunity of the New Year fasting and prayer programs to pray for divine rescue of the country from the vices of criminality. As Nigerians celebrate the beginning of New Year, Governor Babagana Umara Zulum of Borno State has commended the people of the state for their support and cooperation in the outgone year. The governor, in his New Year message, noted that the results of proactive measures are beginning to show as the state records fewer attacks and the security forces did marvelously well in protecting the state. Professor Zulum also commended President Muhammadu Buhari, the federal government of Nigeria, international partners, private sector, traditional leaders, and friends of Borno State who had supported the state. New Year Eve is usually characterized by a variety of activities cutting across tribes, tongues, and religions. While some party into the new year, some opt for prayers, just as others simply soothe themselves on the night, be it socially or spiritually. Oluseye Adebo captured the mood in the Federal Capital Territory.
Fireworks rent the air in different shapes and forms, signaling the end of 2021 and the new dawn of 2022. Millions of people stay awake just to see the clock tick past 12 midnight, announcing the new year. At the City Park central area of the FCT, the moment is heralded by palpable joy as the people express optimism that 2022 will be better than the preceding year.
Happy New Year, Nigeria. I feel happy it started well, and I pray it goes end well.
The security challenges that we're having in this country, we're praying this year to be the end, please.
Away from the social to the spiritual. For these Christians, it is time to acknowledge the faithfulness of God over the past 365 days and for the gift of life to witness yet another new year.
As Christians, we must be praying and believe the word that God has said.
The Bible says he that has helped us on 6th occasion will not leave us on the 7th occasion. I wanted you to know that 2022 will be prosperous and it will be better and be bigger.
The clergy express optimism that God will make things right in Nigeria and for Nigerians. In Abuja, Oluseye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Nigeria's first baby of the year 2022 has arrived the FCT. The mother was delivered of the baby at about 12:05 at the Dusen Alhaji Primary Healthcare Center. Hawa Yimba reports that the baby, a girl, was delivered without complications and weighed 3.1 kg at birth.
Search which took us through Wuse General Hospital, Gwarimpa General Hospital, and the Garki Hospital to witness the arrival of the 2022 Baby of the Year was followed with a phone call from all matrons in all the hospitals and the FCT, as well as staff of the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development. The phone call revealed that baby Julius arrived at about 12:05 a.m.
I feel happy. Wish her good luck, long life and prosperity.
I feel so great and so happy. Thank God for this New Year gift.
The doctor on call, Dr. Bobanyaya Liu, shares in the joy, saying this is the first time the healthcare center is receiving baby at New Year.
The delivery is successfully, no any complication. This hospital, we are very, very happy, not only me, the entire Duse Alaji Health Center and Buhari Area Council. We are very, very happy about this and what happened this year.
It is double celebration for the family of Julius and Duse Alaji Primary Health Care Center staff. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Continues in a moment. Don't go away.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
They are still there. Christians have been urged to embrace peace, unity, hard work for their prophecy to become reality in the new year 2022. Reverend Father Isaac Oyoko of the Holy Family Cathedral Sokoto stated this at the 2022 New Year crossover service in Sokoto. Sheikh Muhammad Detti reports.
Christians at the Holy Family Cathedral in Sokoto converge to seek God's intervention in the new year. Leading the congregation, Reverend Father Isaac Okoyo enjoined Nigerians to repent and work hard for their prophecy to be actualized, saying they should not overload their needs to succeed in the year 2022.
And until we realize that as Nigerians that we have to stand up, each one of us, in our own little way, contribute to the success and progress and development of this country, then things will never be better.
Prayers were offered for national development and an end to banditry, kidnapping, and other forms of unrest. Some of the Christians described 2021 as the most challenging year, seeking divine intervention in the new year.
The first big thing people need is security. If government can work towards that to overcome it.
We are hoping that this year, when we do good things, abundant blessing, favor, blessings of God.
It's our prayer that this year will be much, much better than last year. God, in His infinite mercy, will make next year better than this year for us.
There were thanksgiving amongst the faithfuls for the crossover to 2022. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
And now to our discussion segments. With me in the studio is Dr. Aisha Balarabebawa, Senior Lecturer from the History Department, Usman Danfodio University, to discuss on 2021 in retrospect and 2022 forward. Maya, welcome.
Thank you, Sadia.
So, Ma, today is the first day of the year 2022. How will you assess 2021?
I can say, reflecting back to the year 2021, is really a year with a lot of daunting challenges. I can say, even reflecting from what Mr. President have said, while signing the 2022 budget. He acknowledged that the year 2021 was a year of hardship that a lot of people have experienced, particularly Nigerians have experienced the hardship. We're not even talking about the issue of the economy. The economy, the high rate of inflation, a lot of economic challenges, down to the issue of insecurity. It was a year for the first time in northwestern Nigeria, we have experienced the issue of abduction of our students from school, which actually affected our education. A lot of calendars were affected because children have to go back to school and go back to their parents without attending school calendar. It has affected us. A lot of travelers were slaughtered on their ways, were burnt alive. So I can say the issue of insecurity and the economy coupled with the hardship people have experienced, 2021 was really a year of hardship and suffering.
So what's the prospect for the year 2022?
Still taking to Mr. President's speech, every Nigerian that have watched Mr. President signing 17 trillion budget, which actually was associated with socio-economic improvement, that the budget is aimed at improving the living standard of our people. So I think we call them to accountability to what they have promised to do, because it's a proposal. So we expect the 2022 year to be a year with a lot of openings in terms of the economy, in terms of the insecurity. We expect the government to double its effort with regard to curbing the issue of insecurity in the whole country. I don't have to talk about Northwest, North Central, even the Northeast. We have seen the issue of IPOP. So this insecurity is whatever Nigeria will look for 2022 to be a year that we expect our roads to be free. We expect us to sleep in our houses without any fear of any banditry attack or kidnapping. These are the things we expect first to be on the forefront. Secondly, let there be an improvement in the economy. Let there be job. We have a lot of unemployment. Our youths are on the street without jobs. And this actually created the menace we are facing. Lack of jobs created a lot of social evils in our society. So this is what we expect the government to create, an openings where there will be job creation for our teeming youth. And 2022 is closer to 2023. One of the challenges I can say is the issue of lack of inclusiveness in terms of our political process. So we expect the activities of 2022 in political space to be gender inclusive. We expect more women to be given access to participate in various political processes.
Thank you very much, Ma, for coming to our studios.
Thank you.
We now join our sports desk for sports update.